Okay, this is version number 3 of my skid steer cover that I had started before, because it was just insanely cold when I made version 2, and it was actually done so fast. So to give you a point, I just finished doing a little bit of snow clearing here, just anticipation of another front coming in. And what I mostly do is I clean around my shelter logics and the patio and around the barn and everything else. So now I'll try to do a little bit longer explanation of what I meant about the skid steer cover before. So here's the machine. It's a New Holland L125 with about 500 hours on it. And what I bought there a couple of weeks ago from, well, what you would call a Prep Boy or a TSC. In Canada, I bought it from a Princess Auto on sale. They call it a snow cabin. It actually goes on your snow blower. So what I did is I've spun it around backwards. Now we'll take you into the machine and I'll show you what I've done. It's kind of hard to see, but I've put it in the machine. And maybe we'll do a better shot here from the back of the machine. Here's the side of the machine. You can see through the grill. It's transparent. We'll come around to the back of the machine and you can start to see that the plastic enclosure is protecting me from the back. And I've got lots of snow on the roof because it's snowing slightly here. When I first installed this, I unwrapped it inside the house. I didn't really know what I was doing. I looked at it. I had no intention of it going into a snowblower. I looked at the various bars and attachments and everything else that they give you, and it was highly confusing what I was going to do with it. So if you were to try to do this kind of conversion in a small skid steer, the best bet is you just take the plastic cover and you just back into your machine and then you see what happens. I mean back into, I mean sit into it and put the cover up, because it's difficult to put in there. And then you fiddle around with the bars. This isn't the arrangement I like, but I'm going to wait till spring till I take it out. But what I've done is I've got most of the back covered. Got the sides covered. My lever controls are accessible on both sides. So as you can see here, I can move my levers back and forth. When I fiddle with the bars, I'll be able to move the plastic enclosure a little farther forward, which will give me a little more protection. Because right now, this morning there, with this snow coming down, my knees got soaked. But the other disadvantage I kind of found with it, but I'm not worried, is I'll pop the cover here. You lose access to looking above. So when I was doing some high tipping with the bucket, I kind of lost my visibility for looking up through the top. But it's just on right now by a quick fix. As you can see here, I put it on with a little bit of steel wire, and the clearance between the lift arms and that, the steel wire doesn't interfere. It's good enough for now. It's not going to fall off, and it gives me full protection around here on the back. As you can see, that's my back. Here I am, I'm covered in snow. I got snow on the light. So the day I actually started running it, it was minus 15 Celsius. Oh, in Fahrenheit, forget what that is, but that's like 5 or 0, and it was cold. So the first version is I just plain stuffed it in and I just ran. Now the one other conversion I'm playing with, which is not yet finished, is my foot controls have an angle on them, and I added a couple of blocks of wood because I found it was killing my ankles. So I moved the foot pedals, made them a little more flat, so when I sit in the machine, my feet actually sit like almost you're sitting on a floor, whereas before the angles when I tipped back was killing my ankles. So that's another conversion I've played with this year, and it's worked out well. But no, I'm not going to stay with the wooden blocks. They're a little tacky. I've got some metal strut to use, but winter conversions of machines is just crazy. So there it is. It's a snow cabin. I didn't even use a tape measure. And I'll stand back and I'll give you a bit of a size of the machine it's in. It does fit. Would it fit a bigger machine? Probably. You just have to figure out what you do. But I don't want to cover the front end right now because I'd have to get a big expensive glass door. And for the whole unit, I bought it on sale on clearance at the end of the winter for 50 bucks. So you can't touch that for that price. Anyways, that's it for now. Thanks.